the podcast over here on our TikTok and our YouTube? Perfect. Emily, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. All right. I do hear a little bit of an echo. Do you have music
Hold
on
on.
your phone?
Just turn it all the way down.
There we go. Perfect. All right, guys. Welcome to Book Club. We're so excited to be here. So we have lots of good stuff. Let me get into our podcast notes.
Was a challenge to get here.
Yes, but we did it. We did it. Emily, do you still have me turned up? I still can hear myself.
No. You're muted. I mean,
Okay. Odd. Let me see if I can find our podcast notes. Ba, 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 ba. Remember, guys, the first 5 people, which we already have 3, but the first 5 people who buy book club boxes today with your discounted rate of the $24, that you guys get one of the cute little notebooks. So don't forget, we have 2 more that are available to come with your book club box. Where is... Guys, we're going to get started in just a second. Yeah, I've got to find my folder. There's that. Podcast. April. Found it. Okay. All right. We have got it going. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to bring this up here like so. Excited? Yes, Crystal. I'm excited too. Yay. Okay, here we go. So obviously today we are doing Book Club, April Book Club. Sorry, it kicked me out of the thing. Trying to get back to it. Here we go, I'm back, okay. Alrighty, somehow, Emily, I can hear myself twice. Can you guys hear me, you guys on Whatnot, can you hear me twice?
I only hear you once.
Hear you perfect? No echo.
No
here?
echo.
No?
Okay.
No? All right, I'm just going to try to push through and power through because for whatever reason I'm hearing myself twice. So I'm just going to try to block out second me and pay attention to first me. All right, so obviously we have... Oh, is Danny coming in to help me? Oh, okay. All right, so Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. Dun, 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 dun. So I have... You guys, if you can see, Danny's trying to stay out of the way. He's like across my desk. Oh my goodness. So anyway, Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. I have lots of show notes today about Reminders of Him. Lots of things that I typed up. Some questions for everybody. That I want your guys' input on. That's why we do these live podcasts so that you guys can chat in and talk to us and chat with us about it. Should have reread it. Don't you worry, Crystal. We're gonna talk about it. You're gonna get a good fresh reminder. So, Colleen Hoover's Reminders of Him. This is for me the 3rd Colleen Hoover book that I have read. It's okay. What about you, Emily?
I believe it's also the 3rd. Because I've only read It Ends With Us, It Starts With Us, and then this one. So.
Oh, well then I guess technically it's the 4th book. Oh, Crystal says she can't
Oh,
hear
no.
you. Okay.
Is this better?
On.
Can you hear me?
Is that better?
Everything was going great.
I know. What happened?
Oh, no.
No?
What happened?
I don't know. Could you guys hear her before and now all of a sudden you can't hear her?
What did Danny do?
No, he only messed with these over here. Oh, you couldn't. So you've not been able to hear her at all. Huh. Can we troubleshoot that? Hold on. Didn't hear her before I came in on Whatnot. Okay, let me see. Whatnot cannot hear co-host.
No, I'm not connected to Bluetooth.
No, not connected to Bluetooth. So we're both using the mobile app. Common fixes include updating the app, checking the microphone permissions. Check your microphone permissions.
Well, I didn't do it since we're on the other, but I can add it. You may have to re-add me. I don't know. It kicked me out.
Okay.
Maybe they won't hear me echo. I don't know. Okay. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, how's that, guys?
I hear it. Yay! Okay.
Yay! Okay, perfect.
Sorry,
And
guys.
is there an echo at all? Okay, Danny is testing. Can you guys hear an echo?
I don't think there was. Okay.
Is there an echo? Ryan! You're here, my friend. Okay, well then if you guys are good, then we're good. We're gonna roll on. Okay, so this is technically my fourth Colleen Hoover book that I've read then. So I've read It Starts With Us, It Ends With Us, or It Ends With Us, It Starts With Us. I never remember the order. And then I've read Regretting You, and I've also read now Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. I also plan to read Verity very soon because that is going to be another movie. And I have come to the realization on last night's show, if you guys are watching last night's show, that I only read Colleen Hoover books when a movie of hers is about to come out. So
I haven't read Verity.
I haven't either. That's next on my list because I want to watch it before. I think somebody told me, was it Crystal? Somebody told me, Nicole, did you purchase something? It didn't tell me if you did. It didn't tell me if you did. It didn't pop up like it usually does. Also, if you guys can hear my squeaky chair, I apologize. Okay, so somebody told me that it was October. It was October when it comes out. So, anyways, I plan on reading that. So that'll probably be in an upcoming book club. It won't be necessarily the book club book club that comes with the box, but it'll be incorporated. Because you'll find book club is centered around the one book that we all read that we send out, but we do have other things to discuss. So, with that being said, this now Reminders of Him. The first thing that I really want to talk about is the naming of Colleen Hoover characters.
They're horrible.
I mean, the people in her books sometimes are just, it's bananas to me. Namely, in this movie specifically, I don't know what it is, but the fact that she named this child DM.
Like, are we DMing? I mean, is that what's
occurring here? I thought the same thing. I was like, what is this? What is this? I'm like, I don't know about all that. I also feel like I think because I watched the movie actually with Nicole because we were out of town at the same time, and she thought at the end that her name is DM, like literally DM. I was like, oh no, girl. It goes deeper than that. She has named this child DM, like DIEM, like Carpe Diem, like seize the day.
Yep.
Me personally, I think she should have named that kid Ivy, not the cat. If we're just being honest. But it reminded me, I was like, okay, Colleen Hoover, like, come on, what is happening? I like the name Georgina. You know what? I would take that absolutely over DM. Like, what in the heck? But I also feel like it brought me back to It Starts With Us, where she named that poor baby Dory for her middle name.
Mm-hmm. Like, from Finding Nemo.
Yeah, from Finding Nemo. I'm like, who does this? Now, no hate to any of the Dorys out there in the world, but just saying. Anyway, So that's how I feel about Colleen Hoover's naming of characters. Now, I will have a caveat because I was like, dang, I put this in the book club or book club meeting podcast, and then I started reading Spark of the Everflame, and that main character's name is DM. But I feel like it fits better because it's fantasy. Like I feel like someone in like the real world naming their kid DM is different from like a fantasy DM, in my opinion. I could be wrong. But anyway, so my next thing. Oh, my dog has somehow. Oh, both of them has snuck in here. Okay, well, hopefully they don't start barking. Where is their last name? Oh, DM is their last name, or Dory? Because I kind of said something about both. DM. Okay, but I think that's okay. I think it's just the first name. I don't know, something about it. Something about it. I don't know. Anyways, that's just how I feel. I feel like Colleen Hoover sometimes gets really wild with her naming of her people in her books. That's at the end of the day, that's the problem that I have with Colleen Hoover. I'm like, I get you want to be original, but that's maybe a bit much. So, now, as a kind of a caveat, I have watched the movie. Emily did not get a chance to watch the movie. So I have a little bit of more of an insider info than Emily will have, but it's okay because we'll get into movie differences of the movie versus the book, which, by the way, spoiler alert, if you didn't watch the movie, not really, because if you read the book, then you got more spoilers than if you watched the movie. But that just kind of keep that in mind when we go through these things. Now, I think one of the biggest things that threw me off when we talk about like going through the books, also my dog back there, when we talk about going through the book, the very first thing that was pretty soon, like pretty early on in the book, was that her and Ledger like hardcore make out. I think like 3 chapters in, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. Something about this makes me feel a little icky. Yeah. Yeah. I think also, I'm going to put this little note so I don't forget. Because this just came to me. And I don't want to forget it because I will. Also, sorry, this other thought just came to me. I don't want to forget it either. Okay. So I feel like that personally kind of threw me off a little bit because I was like, ooh, I just don't know about this. I feel like that was too far, in my opinion. I feel like they could have had like a more of a like tension-y moment. I don't feel like necessarily she should have wrote that they were like making out in the beginning of this book. I feel like that was a bit much. I think it to me would have been a bit subtler for it not to have been, and I understand maybe why she set it up that way, so that they, whenever they found out that who each other were, that it was a bigger deal because like they had already, had this moment with each other. But I still feel like it would have been a big moment regardless, so I don't think that that was necessary for her to add that in, that they actually were like together like that. So I don't know, that just kind of made me feel icky. So with that said, I was interested on how they were going to play that up in the movies, because it feels very like 0 to 60 in like the very like beginning, and then you have to kind of work your way back, and then anyway. So I prefer actually the movie version because they did not do that. They did not. In the movie, what they did was they actually, she went to the bar. She did not realize who he was. She sat there, had her coffee, wrote in her little notebook, And then she walked out the back and she realized it was Ledger because she saw his truck, which I say they, is the truck that Scotty picked Kenna up in on their first date because he was borrowing Ledger's truck. So that's how she understood who he was by his truck. So they kind of flirted a little bit. He asked for her number. It was kind of moving in that direction, but then she realized who he was, and then she was like, no, okay. No, never mind. And I preferred that version better than the book version, personally. So, I agree. Um, I think that's also a reason why I really like to read the book first and then watch the movie. I know sometimes you want to watch the movie then read the book, but I'd much rather just read the book and then watch the movie because then it's like you kind of know what you're getting into. So, my next, yeah, that's the truth. I also would say for moral dilemmas, so I have a couple of these that I want everybody else's thoughts on. Not only my own, but I want to hear Emily, I want to hear your thoughts, but then I also want to hear everybody else's thoughts on what you guys think. Okay? So these are some things that I feel like people could have really gone one way or the other. And I feel like people could have an opinion one way versus the other. So the first one that I would say would be the thoughts on Kenna leaving the scene of the accident and being found at home. Mm-hmm. Yes. Me neither. Yeah, mm-hmm. That was yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking. It wasn't necessarily the thought the fact that she left the scene because I understood that she left to get help because they were in like the middle of nowhere. Like I understood that part. But my problem with it was that she was found at home specifically. Um, I think she had walked so far away. Yeah, she had just walked so far away that she was like in a totally different part of town. And this like she had tried to flag down people, but like nobody stopped. So, so with that, I think my issue with that was not necessarily her leaving the scene because I understand she went to get help. My thought was like if kind of like what you were saying, if she had the wherewithal to make it all the way home, don't you think she could have like once she got home picked up a phone and made a phone call? Exactly. Now, I think the reason that Colleen Hoover wrote it that way instead of her like calling for help was because then obviously there had been a reason, of course, for her to go to jail or go to prison. So it had to seem that she was remorseless and that she didn't care and that she just was this bad person. So I get why it was written that way, but that's then what makes me upset about it was the fact that, she went all the way home and didn't make a phone call. You're like, okay, girl, you just pass out at home. I don't know about that. So, my next moral dilemma is do you think that if you were Scotty's parents, forgive Kenna? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that was also my thing was I would never say never because I do believe to some extent time heals all wounds. Not all of them, but lots of them, and it makes things not as difficult the further on you go with things. But I do believe that it would be very hard for me to, purely for the fact that she went all the way home. That would be my problem with that whole scenario. It's not necessarily, what happened. Like, I understand that that was an accident, but the fact that he was still alive and she left to get help and then just went home. It would have been different if she had more attempted to get help. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think even closer to like 5. I think she had been in prison for 5 years. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Yeah. And I have that a little further, but yeah. Yeah, I think that also is a good thing for, I guess, a big reason why I wanted to ask you that question because you do have kids and I don't. So, like, from that perspective for you being a mom, and, God forbid any of that ever happens, of course. But if you were to be in, like, Scotty's mom's shoes, could you have forgiven somebody for that? Mm-hmm. Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I totally agree with that. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Your audio cut out for me for a second. Oh, hold on. For some reason, you cut out for me. Talk again. Hmm? Hold on. I don't know what this thing all of a sudden just cut out. Okay, say something else. Talk again. Again. I can hear you on Danny's thing, but I can't hear you on mine. Hold on, I think it is. Might be this. Okay, talk now. Nope. Weird. Hold on. Oh, hold on 2 seconds. What in the world? Properties? Hmm. So weird, I cannot hear you. Hmm. Okay, talk again. What in the world? It literally just cut off. Hold on. Hold on. Let me troubleshoot. Let me troubleshoot. I wonder if I can refresh. Try again. Hold on, hold on. Let me make sure that it wasn't, that I can still hear something. Hold on. No, my headphones are working. It's the collab cam. Okay. I don't know what this is doing. Sorry guys, give us just a second. It is... Talk again. Okay, I'm just gonna have to have one ear off because for whatever reason it just stopped working. Danny, if you're watching, can you still hear Emily talk? Danny, can you still hear Emily talking? Can you still hear Emily talking? Because it's just cut off for me. Okay. Okay. I mean, I can still hear on here, so. Anyway. So, now moving forward. So, what are your thoughts then? Another moral dilemma. Kenna and Ledger's relationship. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I can hear you. Just came back. Yeah. I think it was convenient for the storyline. Because if they had met, obviously she would have known when she came back to town who he was. So I understood that that was a plot point. But I do find that weird that they were like the best of friends and they like would die for each other kind of friends. But they, like, in the whole, I think, year that her and Scotty were together, they never saw each other. Now I think Exactly. Yeah. And I think, again, that was because I think she had put him that he was in like football camp. I think that that was the thing because he was, he was an NFL star. Right. So I think, and now in the movies, that's how it played out, is because like, he was in football camp and not in, I think they put them in Wyoming in the movie. I think. Mm-hmm. Mm. Well, in the movie, they're set in like, um, I think it's Laramie in like Wyoming or Montana or something like that. I didn't pay that close attention, as you can tell. Yeah. But I think, I mean, of course, I actually saw the trailer first, and that's how I was like, ooh, I think I want to watch this movie. And then at the end of the trailer, it said, hold on, Danny's texting me. Danny, you'll have to come in here so I can explain it to you. Wyoming. There you go. So, hold on, Danny's coming in to help. You're gonna have to turn it down because you're gonna echo. Look, the vacuum audio just stopped working. It's just gone. That's why I can't hear her now. I had to pull up whatnot so I can hear her, but now I'm echoing. And I can't refresh it because I'd have to take her all the way off and then put her all the way back on. Which I may just have to do, right?
Possibly.
We're figuring it out. In the meantime. So the next thing, well, actually you kind of talked about it, is Kenna wanting to see DM and then your thoughts on that.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I would get the urgency of wanting to see your child, especially since she didn't get to have the days that she said she'd be able to when she gave birth to her in prison, and then it's been
Right.
to find a place in the same town, and then runs into Ledger, and then finds the connection between them two, and it just kind of takes off from there.
Right. Mm-hmm. I totally agree. Agreed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Because I think if kind of along that same lines, if she had just like rushed the car, then she probably would have scared the heck out of DM. And she'd probably been like, who is this strange woman? You know? So I also think that there should have been a time and a place. And I think that. Mm-hmm. No, you're good. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. And he was like, "Oh, this is you?" Yeah, I agree. I think that as much as this book definitely was about Kenna and Ledger's relationship, for me, it really was more about Kenna's just story. And it felt to me like her and Ledger's relationship was just like I don't know, like a had it added happy benefit. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. But I really just enjoyed reading the story for how it was going to play out, and not necessarily because of Ken and Ledger, but it was like a nice love story. Oh yeah, her letters. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I wonder what would have been in there. Yeah, yeah. Hi. Danny's back to troubleshoot. I think it's just gonna have to take her off and add her back. I think when I clicked on whatnot, it cut off the cloud cam audio. I don't know what happened. Anyway, so movie differences, which you're not gonna understand. So I'm gonna tell you. All right, number one, the biggest, well, not the biggest, but one of the things that I figured out was the meaning behind the music. So in the book, she talks about how that she doesn't want to listen to music because she says, it's sad, and I just don't listen to music anymore. Nope, I can't
It
hear.
carries too many memories.
Can't hear her like that.
Okay. Turn it back off. That's the only way they can hear her on YouTube.
Well, I'll keep it that way then. I guess that. Okay. Anyway, sorry. But in the movie, she says the reason that she doesn't want to listen to music is because it's too sad. All the music is just sad. But the reason that she actually doesn't want to listen to music is because they had the music up so loud in the car, and that was like part of the reason that they crashed. Like it contributed to it. And so that was the reason that they didn't want to, or she didn't want to listen to music. But in the movie, it really did not make that connection. It just was like, oh, music is sad. But it didn't really make that connection. Like the connection that it was, basically.
Yeah.
In the movie, it was her handwritten letter that Ledger took.
Not a file off of her phone.
Right, not a file off of a Google Drive. It was the actual handwritten notebook that he like, I don't know, stamped and said, "Here, read this." Not any of the others, just this one. Yeah. Ledger's house. Um,
The one that he's building,
yes.
or the one that he stays in?
Well, the one that he's building. Because you know, at the end of the movie, or in the end of the book, rather, they discuss what he's going to do with his house, and he ends up deciding that he's going to just sell the new one that he was building because he wants to stay closer to DM and Scotty's parents. But they don't say anything in the movie. We don't know what happens. We don't know if he stays. We don't know if he goes. We ain't got a clue. What would you have done in that situation? Because I know what I would have done. Yeah. I tried that. Sorry, I was talking to Danny.
Y'all continue.
I think we're just going to have to disconnect and reconnect. Think so?
Or
Okay.
just keep it going on whatnot.
I'm just gonna keep it.
And then just take that and put it on there.
Oh, no. All right, Emily, I'm gonna disconnect you from Collab Cam, and I'm gonna send you a new link really quick.
I'm just saying if no one's watching on YouTube or Twitch, you can just download the streams and whatnot, put it on YouTube.
I don't want to do all that.
I'll do it for you. Just like 10 seconds.
Two seconds, guys. Okay, in the meantime, don't forget that down below, right here, pinned at the bottom underneath Emily on my screen, it's Emily below me. It might be opposite. But June's book club box with the book right now is on sale. For anyone who purchased a book, we have, I believe, one or two more. I think it's one more. I don't think my whatnot updated. I think we've had four sales, possibly. I don't know. For whatever reason, I don't think it updated. But anyway, if you get the June book club box with the book, it's usually $30 for anybody who buys in this specific live show. It will go back to $30 after today. You can get it for $24 today, which is going to be God of Malice by Rena Kent. Comes with the book goodies, and all of the stuff that you like to see. And then we will do the book club meeting in June. But you can purchase it today at $24. Again, it is $6 off today for only anybody who purchases in this live show. So keep that in mind. Wait, what are you?
Gonna do it for you.
Oh.
Keep going.
I'm like, what are you doing? So anyways, keep that in mind so that you can purchase that book club box and have it sent to you. All right. So another movie difference was Ledger's parents. Oh, before I do, Emily, were you able to get on there? Were you able to click the new link? I don't know if you can hear me. No, the link didn't work. Okay. Hold on. Don't generate a new one. She's there. Click on her. There you go. Show. Close. Okay, talk. Nope. What the heck? What the heck? Okay. It's fine. It didn't fix it. Whatever. All right, we're just going to keep on rocking and rolling. We're good. Okay. Can you hear me? All right. So, for Ledger's parents, in the book, they were a very, very, very big part of his life and Kenna's life, and even DM, like moving forward for Kenna and DM. They were nowhere to be seen in the movie.
Keep talking.
Hi, hello, over there on YouTube or Twitch, or I think you're on Twitch. Hello. Sorry. Anyway, and Emily, she works for the county. That's what we do. That's what we do. Show. Close. Now talk, Emily. You know, you guys, you gotta love technology. You hate it, but you love it. Like, there's so many things that you can't do without it, but when things work and then they just break for no reason, gotta love it. Got to love it.
Millie, can you get off of me?
Millie's like, what are you doing over there?
I don't know. Just keep going.
Well, now I can't hear Emily at all. Not even through Whatnot. What has happened to my computer? It just says,
Were you messing
Nope.
with things after we got it all set up?
nope. My shooter setup. Yes, well, for me, it's just a computer. My dog's just being silly over there. For me, it's just a computer. We have some mics and our headphones. Emily, I don't. What even brand are your headphones? We have a question on Twitch. She says she has no idea. Is that playing through over here? Talk again, Emily. Why is it playing through my TV when my TV's not selected on absolutely anything?
I don't hear it through the TV.
Hold on, Emily. 2 seconds. Yeah, get up there and listen. Talk again, Emily. Oh, was that my phone?
Yeah, that is your phone.
Okay.
My headphones wouldn't work, so I had to borrow my child's.
Well, you're good. I'm just gonna turn you up on here. I'm just gonna use Whatnot because I can't hear you regardless. So you know what? Headphones are going away anyway. Okay. All right. Another movie difference. Let's get back into our movie differences, and then we'll get on to other things other than reminders of him.
Tell her if she wants to turn up her phone and just use the phone, she can take her headphones off.
Yeah, up to you, Emily. If you want to just turn off your headphones and turn up your phone, whatever you want to do, up to you. Driving me crazy. Like I said, things are working and now they're not, and now I'm petting my dog. Oh, don't lick me. Okay, so anyways, Ledger's backstory with the guy that works at the bar. Do you remember?
He was also in the NFL, wasn't he? Or he was. I know he was on drugs or something.
He was NFL. Yes, sorry, I know. Here we go again over there. Yes, we know we've tried to fix it, but it's not working. If you do want to hear us, you can hop over to Whatnot, which is the app. We're also streaming over there, and you can hear us just fine. We don't know what's going on over there. It was working, and it just kaput. So we have to fix that. We're gonna figure that out later at a later date. So he was in the NFL. Ledger was the reason. I think that they collided, and
yeah.
Ledger was the reason that he was like disabled to some extent, that he couldn't continue to play football. They just totally left that out of the movie. It's like there's definitely times that you can throw those things in at like super quick, super easy, 2 seconds to be like, hey, yeah, this is what happened to me, and I think it also gives a lot of growth and backstory to Ledger as a character,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is like the biggest issue that I really have with book to movie adaptations is they leave out so much backstory. So anybody who watches the movie leaves there so confused on why did they make the choices that they made? Why did they do this? Why did they say that? Where if you read the book, you understand, but the movies you leave going, what? Why? Like it just doesn't make sense.
That's why, honestly, I just prefer to read the book, to be honest, because the books typically portray what?
Your audio just started working all of a sudden.
Well, isn't that just dandy?
Just all of a sudden.
I'm keeping you up, Gus.
Sounds good. I'm gonna keep you like that too. Okay.
But the way that you can portray the characters yourself within the book, like you have it in your mindset, like, okay, this is how this person is and whatnot. Whereas in the movies or shows that they do for certain books, it's like something totally different. And you're like, no, that's not what I had in my mind.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. I think to that also Kenna's backstory they just totally left out.
Mm-hmm.
Like Nicole, for example, whenever we got done watching the movie, she was like, "Why did because Kenna made this like offhanded comment in the movie where she was talking to Ledger, and she says Scotty was the only family I had."
Yeah. Well,
And then when we
her
got done
mom
in the
was
movie,
in and out, wasn't she? Yeah.
exactly, but it doesn't say any of that in the movie. So at the
Wow.
end, Nicole was like, why did she say like he was her only family? Like why what made her say that? And I was
Hmm.
like, well, if you'd read the book, so it even left out her backstory. Like it didn't go into the fact that her mom basically abandoned her multiple times throughout her life as a child.
Yeah.
It didn't go into that she asked her mom to take custody of DM or to have like partial custody so that when DM got out or when Kenna got out, she could see DM. It didn't go over any of that. We just pick up and we just see this girl getting out of prison, but we don't know anything about her.
Wow.
And the only thing that you learn about her was that you pick up when she meets Scotty, and that's it. You know nothing of her life other than everything that happens after she gets out of prison. So, like I said, those are the biggest issues that I have with movie or book to movie adaptations is they leave out so many important details.
Yeah.
So, okay. So that really kind of wraps up what we have to say about Reminders of Him, for me anyway. Was there any other additional details that you had, Emily?
Um, I will just say the connection that Ledger and DM have is like, I mean, it's pretty great, and it'll help with Kenna and everything.
Yeah.
But I just think that their connection, that how the book portrayed, I don't know about the movie, but how the book portrayed their relationship was pretty awesome.
Yeah. I think in the movie was the same. Um I do agree also I think that it was really great. But and I guess it did somewhat do it justice. I think that the book obviously made a better connection for people to understand why Ledger felt responsible for taking care of DM, which was
Yeah.
because he had felt like he wasn't there for Scotty and that he wanted to you know help DM and have a father figure of sorts and kind of take over that role that Scotty could not because obviously he had passed,
Right.
um but yeah, it wasn't very explained again in the movie.
See,
So,
that's why if I really like a book,
mhm.
I'm trying to think. Okay, just for instance, like the Fourth Wing thing that's going on right now. There's talk of a show instead of a movie,
Yeah.
and I'm like, at this point, there's different people. Like people have been saying, well, no, I see Zayden as this person, or for all the different
Right.
characters. But my thing is, in my head, you might as well just make the show animated and just be done with it because they're not going to get these
Yes.
characters perfect.
I totally agree. Did you actually see? Well, I don't know if you've seen, but on TikTok, I saw that they have somebody has made like a fan game, like like a live action. Oh my gosh, my dog is just crawling all over me. Like a live action, kind of like It Ends With Us, the Harry Potter game, those kind of like open world games for
Oh.
Akatar.
Hmm.
It's in like development, but they are saying that I think everybody agrees that they would much rather just have a game instead of a
Yeah,
movie because
I can see that.
it's so hard to get like unrealistic expectations out of a movie,
Yeah.
but it's much easier to do that on like either A, an animation, or B, a game.
Yeah. Well,
Like it's
my thing about the animation is like, you could get every little detail right.
yes.
even with the dragons, like you could get all of that right. But with a show or a movie, it's not going to be the same. That's why I'm
Yeah,
like, I will sign a petition to just do an animated series.
yeah, yeah. I think you're really limited on what you can do with a movie because
Yeah.
nobody's ever. It's never gonna be that 100% of people love the casting.
Hmm.
It's all you're always gonna have the people that come up and they're like, oh, but it should have been this person, and
Yeah.
then who knows if the actor may look pretty close to what you think they should look like, but they don't act very well. Like they don't have very good acting skills.
My takeaway on that, and I will die on this hill, is Blake Lively should have not have been in It Ends With Us.
I
Wrong
so
person.
agree. I don't know how she got that
Wrong
role. I
person.
don't know how she pulled that out of her back pocket, but man alive, I so agree.
She was
Speaking
not
of,
the person for that.
that's a perfect segue
Yeah.
into our Colleen Hoover update. I don't
Oh.
know if you've seen,
When it dropped?
not completely,
Oh.
not completely. So, in regards to Blake Lively and the Justin Baldoni court case, so there were 13 initial charges that were brought up against Justin Baldoni from Blake Lively. 13. 10 of them just had to do with sexual harassment of some
How
sort.
many counts does she have for that?
I guess 10. 10
Because
charges
that's
again. Yeah. So, what we have learned lately in the last 2 weeks is that 10 of the 13 claims against Justin Baldoni have been thrown out by the judge. All 10 of those are the ones that claimed sexual harassment. So the judge has thrown all of those out the window, stating that that did not happen and that they will not do a hearing on that.
wow.
Yeah. Now that leaves 3 charges still that were brought up against Justin Baldoni, and all 3 of those charges were in regards to retaliation, because they did have a clause in their contract that Blake Lively stated that there should be no retaliation for anything if something were to go amiss during the movie or something. Retaliation meaning that, for example, Blake Lively um, brought up the sexual harassment charges. It's almost kind of like she saw this ahead of time, in my opinion.
Right?
But she brought up the sexual harassment charges, and um, Justin Baldoni's management company retaliated by kind of going on a bit of a smear campaign about Blake Lively and saying bad things about her. So those are the charges that are still going to go forward in the trial that is set May 18th of this year.
Wow.
Yeah. But good news for him, though. He doesn't have to doesn't have to sit through any charges on sexual harassment. Those were dropped or thrown out. But they do still have to go through the whole retaliation. So I'm really interested to see what happens with that.
That's crazy.
Very crazy. Very crazy. So, we have our last little section of what we're going to get into, which is just going to be book world updates. It's the last little bit of book club. Is kind of where are we? What's happened so far? What have we heard? What's new? So, first thing, biggest thing, obviously, 2 new ACOTAR books.
Go. Yes.
We're so excited.
Let's see, one comes out in October, the other one comes out, what, February?
January.
And then we have, what was the other one? The next Fourth Wing book.
Yes.
Or no, whatever she's releasing that she put out, it's nothing to do with Fourth Wing, apparently, or it's not the graphic novel, but it's something to do with Fourth Wing.
Yes. So that was, yeah. So what we've learned from Rebecca Yarrow specifically, she's completed her contemporary book, and it will be coming out later this year. She was contracted to complete her contemporary book and then start on the fifth book in the Empyrean series, or fourth book, sorry, of the Empyrean series. And we had heard, I believe it was like back in December timeframe, that she was working on a graphic novel of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, this book dropped on Amazon for pre-order, and everybody's like, "Oh my gosh!" Well, we know it's not book 4 because that's too soon. She just started writing it. So everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, what is this? What is this?" Everybody thought it was a graphic novel, but she has come out and she has put to rest that it is not the graphic novel.
Yep.
So everybody's like, "What in the heck could this book be?"
I wonder if it'd be pretty awesome if it was Aiden's POV, or
Didn't think about that. That would be a really good one.
or maybe the backstory of what's his name? Alaric? No, the prince. I can't think of his name. Arik.
Yeah.
Or maybe something like that.
I think both of those would be really good. I think that would be really good. I think even maybe if we're talking backstories, maybe even the backstory of what's her face, Violet's parents.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah,
That
because we don't really know anything about her dad other than he was a scribe, and
yeah, which I don't know if they'll do that just because she's not come out with book 4 yet. So that could maybe contain some spoilers. So I'm not sure necessarily, because you're right, we don't know anything about him. So I feel like if we had gotten a book that was like a prequel of sorts, it would almost be spoiler-y, I would feel like.
yeah.
So
I've seen a whole lot of stuff on TikTok of like people's theories of, like what's happening, or like, Justina is supposedly recording everything that's going on. But, in certain times, there's a huge time jump. So people are thinking that that this is Justina saying that this is what happened during that time period, and not that it's actually happened, like, right then and there.
Right. Yeah,
That's
true.
TikTok gets you thinking.
Yeah, it does. It'll put you down a rabbit hole quick.
Yeah.
Well, back to ACOTAR. What do you think book technically, what is it, book 5? 6? What do you think book 6 is going to be?
Okay, there's a lot of people that are split between Elaine and, oh my god, my mind just went blank. Elaine and Lucian, or Elaine and
Azrael.
Yeah, my mind just went blank.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't be hurt. Like, I'm gonna read it regardless. I'm not gonna be butthurt of who she winds up with. I mean, obviously, you're gonna have to read to find out. But me personally, I hope that it's Az and her, they get together instead of her and Lucian. However, like I said, I would not be upset if it is her and Lucian that wind up together. But I've also seen that what's her name? She completed,
Gwen.
Yes, Gwen. Also wouldn't mind if her and Az got together, but I saw something that they're not going to be together because I don't know, it was something about her, like she's not going to commit to him, something like that. I can't remember what it was, but I wouldn't be upset if it was about her and him either. So I don't know.
I don't know either. What I do know that I've looked up on Amazon before I give you what I think. Book 6 is like 380 pages. Book 7 is like over 900 pages.
Yep.
So I think that book 6, which by the way, before October, my goal is I need to get through at least Crescent City. I have heard that moving forward, ACOTAR and Crescent City are going to be very intertwined.
Yes. So I've listened to the audio of the first book of Crescent City, and I'm listening to the second one currently.
Okay. I
And
think I'm gonna have to do the same.
it's godly. Just yeah. Also, I would like to read Throne of Glass, which I know I don't think it's going to tie in together because my husband got me Throne of Glass for what was it, anniversary, Valentine's Day, something.
Right.
I don't know. But I would like to get that done as well. I don't know. I may not get to it. I may not finish it between now and then.
Me too, but I definitely do want to do Crescent City at least before October.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
get to
focusing
Throne of
on that
Glass,
one.
but I definitely wanted to get to Crescent City.
Um, sorry, I just got a text message.
You're
Um,
good.
I don't know though. I don't know. It's kind of one of those things you just have to wait and see
Yeah.
how it all plays out.
Well, I think book 6, me personally, because again, TikTok will throw you down a rabbit hole like nobody's business. So, what I think happens in book 6, because what I've heard from TikTok, and I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, we've heard for a long time the whole thought of um, three, three sisters for the three guys, three sisters for the three men. I
Right.
don't remember exactly what they call them, but so everybody thought, okay, well, that's Feyre, Nesta, and Elaine for, Reese and Cassian and Azriel. So we're like, okay, well, done and dusted. But what I actually have heard, which I'm like, okay, I'm kind of thinking, I don't actually think that Azriel and Elaine are mates. I definitely 100% agree that Elaine and
Yeah.
Lucian are mates. Because I know somebody said they've like pulled this quote from long ago in a book that was like, that the fate can be wrong or fate can make mistakes or something like that. But I think when it says three sisters, I love this theory and I hope it's right because I kind of really love it, is that Azriel's mate was actually Reese's sister.
I did see something about that.
And I think that makes so much sense that I think Azriel's more just not protective. I mean, yes, protective in a sense, but also maybe more just, what am I trying to say? Territorial of Elaine,
Yeah.
but not necessarily that they're mates by any means. I think that Elaine and Lucian are going to end up together. I think I think that that's just going to be what it is. And I'm happy with that. I do think that it was Azriel and Elaine that were, not Elaine, Azriel and Reese's sister that were actually mates.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because there's this one part in one of the books that somebody pointed out where Cassian, it was when Nesta went to the mountain
Mm-hmm.
to do her rite, and like they had not heard from her, she had not come back, and they're like, "Do you think that she died?" And Azriel makes the comment of, "No, you would feel it right here," like pointing to his chest.
Yeah.
And so then people are talking about like, okay, so does that mean that Azriel has gone through that? He's felt the pain of losing his mate, and like that he knows that you would know that that person was no longer on the planet, on the, I wouldn't say Earth because
Yeah.
it's not technically Earth, but so that's what everybody kind of thinks, that it actually was Reese's sister that was Azriel's
Yeah.
mate, and then for that fact, he doesn't actually have a mate, and so I think that it'll end up that him and Gwen will be together because Gwen has gone through a lot of things in her life. Azriel's gone through a lot of things in his life, and I think that they can find common ground on that. I don't think. I think it would be too convenient and prettily tied up in a bow if it were to be Azriel and Elaine, because then it would be like the three and the three sisters. I
Right.
don't think that she would end the book that way or end their stories that way.
Well, see, part of me too thinks that book 6 is going to be kind of like, what was it, the fourth book? Yeah, I think it's going to be
Constance.
some kind of mix between everybody. So maybe giving us like an update of where everybody's at, and then here comes the 900-page book to ruin everything.
I agree. I think that I definitely agree that the book 6 is like an update, is like a little where are they now? What have they got? What have they been up to? It's like a filler
Mhm.
book until you get to the big book. Just like you said, Frost and Starlight was like a little 200-page book to get us ready for
Yep.
Court of Silver Flames, which is like this thick.
Mhm.
So I definitely think
Yep.
that's the case.
Yep.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm glad we're on the same page about that.
Yeah.
And then I have no idea what book 7 is going to be. I think it's going to be where, because there's still queens that are out there just kind of floating around.
Mhm.
They,
Mhm.
got to tie those up. They somehow are going to have to kind of come together and figure out what the heck they're going to do. And so lots to do. I think I'm probably going to try to not necessarily reread them all because that's going to take me forever, but I think I'm going to listen to not all of them. I'm good on book 1, book 2, but I think I'm going to re-listen to like book 3 onwards just to
Yeah.
prepare.
Well, that's like for the fourth wing, scenarios or ideas, I guess. That's what people are like, while I was rereading Iron Flame, like I pointed or I saw this and I didn't see it before, and I'm like, I don't want to go through that heartbreak again.
Exactly.
And apparently, going back to Fourth Wing for a second, apparently she shared something that somebody put something on Instagram about your favorite author killing off everybody's favorite side character or something, and she loved it, and then so people are thinking that Riddick is going to die. I
Great.
will cry. I will
Yay.
cry.
Well, I guess we'll have to see on that one.
Mm,
I'm gonna, cause we'll hear a lot of theories up until then.
mm,
So I'm just gonna keep my eye out for some theories on all of those. Probably
yep.
closer to the end of the year, because book talk will start to ramp up, and then you're gonna get all these crazy theories. So
Yep.
I would love to do like a whole maybe additional segment or something. We can figure that out on just Fourth Wing, and let's just like dig through the trenches of all of the crazy theories and
Hmm.
throw out the ones that we don't think are real, and like maybe stamp down the ones that we think could be possible.
Yeah.
So okay, last little bit then. We have book adaptations that are coming soon, kind of in the same veins along as Colleen Hoover. So the ones that I have seen lately, we talked about a little bit earlier, was Verity by
Hmm.
Colleen Hoover. That's going to come out soon. We have Hunger Games, Sunrise on the Reaping, will be coming out very shortly. We have Love Hypothesis by Allie Hazelwood. That'll be coming very soon as well. The Rose Hill series by Elsie Silver was just announced that it's getting a TV show, which is exciting. We love that. And then Elle Kennedy's Off Campus.
I have
Talking
seen.
Chance.
I haven't read the series, but
Okay,
I've
I haven't either.
seen people talk about it
Yes,
since the trailer dropped.
yes, yes. So I'm excited. I probably will read book 1 before I watch the first season, because I think season 1 is book 1.
Gotcha.
So excited for that. And then the last one, have you watched Your Fault London? Or My Fault London. Sorry, My Fault London.
Um, is that the original one? The one
Yes.
not London? Yeah. No, I haven't watched either one of them, but I kind of know the gist of it.
Yeah. Sorry, my dog is being crazy. Um, well, I definitely would recommend watching it on Amazon Prime. It is
Mhm.
amazing. I love it so much. But I also then would recommend that you watch it before Your Fault London comes out in June. And I'm so excited that it's coming out in June. So,
Gotcha.
so anyways, you can watch that and then we'll update.
Yeah.
We'll do an update.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I think that's all I had for today's book club. All about Reminders of Him, the two ACOTAR books coming up. Rebecca Yarros book 4, but also that random book that's for pre-order September 29th. And then all the adaptations coming soon. So
A lot to cover.
a lot covered. We did a lot in an hour and a half.
Yes.
Well, fantastic. So, for anybody that's joined in, just a reminder that the June book club box for God of Malice by Rena Kent is available now. It is only going to be on this sale for today's show. So you can purchase that to get ready for the next book club. Comes with the book and all the book goodies as well. And yeah, we'll be doing a dark romance next time. So that'll be our first dark romance that we've ever done.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. We're going to see how that goes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fantastic. Well, then that's it for us.
Hope everybody enjoyed.
Yeah, I had
Sorry for all the technical difficulties.
Who knows? Who knows? But it started working in the end. So, you know what? It's what it is.
We got through it.
We got through it. Alrighty. Well, then I guess I will see you guys in June. Last week of June. Last Saturday. I believe it's the 26th. 27th?
Yeah. But don't forget to save the future shows and whatnot. So
Yes. Save the shows. Save the shows. We are back on Saturday. We are back on Saturday with the next book show. We're not gonna do a Wednesday show this week. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. We're gonna be back on Saturday. Alrighty, well, sounds good then. I'm gonna end us off over here. So thank you guys for watching on TikTok and on Twitch and on YouTube. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, but we're gonna end off over here. So goodbye.
bye.